Hi, my name is Reverend Mary Huber. I'm the pastor of the Community Chapel of Holistic Healing, and we are going to present today the very, very basics of meditation without all of the confusion or frills, just some really important basics. What defines meditation? I'm aware that you can go to Wikipedia and find out all kind of information about meditation, but I'm going to give you what I know. I've been meditating for well over 50 years. I have done a lot of studying on this topic and have taught it a lot. And I have taught it differently in different settings. But for the basic information you need to know about meditation is that it is a spiritual discipline based on love. And I have a lot of reasons to say that. You don't find that anywhere else. You find that the definitions of meditation vary. There are many different kinds of descriptions. But meditation itself was the very first discipline given to humanity after what is known as the fall, when humans started wandering away from God and its complete understanding that they were spirit, inhabiting a physical and enjoying the world. Once they started moving away from understanding their connection to God and took a different turn and looked more at the physical than they were at the spiritual. That was known as the fall of mankind. And in order to recover humanity to its rightful place, it was known, I guess, from the very high levels of God's creations that it was going to take quite a while to get back, and had to have an avenue to get back to God. And meditation was the very first discipline given to humanity. And because of the love that God has for God's own creation, humanity, it was important to bring us all back. So, when did it start? That was quite a long time ago. And I'm going to have to say it's going to be well over 60,000 years ago. I'm going to say it's going to be pre-Atlantis. The element that we're talking about now would be the civilization prior to Atlantis with Lemuria. Lemuria was set up so that it was a very apparently transparent. You could look at spirits, you could look at the physical world that they were living in. That's when it went all wrong. So that by the time that that continent fell and civilization reestablished itself in Atlantis, meditation, I'm sure, was well designed to be part of that civilization as well. So we're talking quite a long time ago. And the reason you're not going to find that in Wikipedia is because we are tracking civilization only back a few thousand years. Civilization is not known to the scientists to have existed here as long as we really have. So it started way back. It's the very first discipline, and it's solely there to bring us back to God. And where is God? God is your divine self within. You are to return to your maker. You return to the divine essence of yourself and understand yourself to be one with your creator. The purpose of meditation, the design for meditation, is only that. The reason that the humanity has been looking at different versions of it, because where was it practiced? Over time, it went through many different cultures. It went through many individuals who were teaching who still had an element of their own ego involved. And what was working for them, they decided should work for everybody else around them. So their version of it was then promoted. So we have many societies, many cultures who have designed their own way of looking at what they call meditation. So they took it from a very simple form and made it more complicated because at that time, where they were in their culture, to make it understandable, they added different dimensions or different angles to it. So, but if you go back and you're looking at, oh, what's this type of meditation in Buddhism? Because that's one of the places it was practiced. In Hinduism, Zen, and pretty much every other culture had a version of meditation. Maybe didn't call it that, but they were looking at the aspects of meditation, and then they would label their basic understanding of meditation as that. Oh, it's concentration. Oh, it's over here. It's compassion. Oh, it's this. Those are all included in your basic understanding of going back to God. And it's just how you choose to do it, and actually what your own need is in the process of going back. But we don't control that. We're giving ourselves over to God in our meditation. We're looking to find that divine in ourselves. So it is practiced all over the world for a very, very long period of time. And it's important today because humanity needs to return to God. The distraction of the world is so severe now as to take people as far away from God as any human family has ever been on the planet. So many people have been lost to spirit because of these other things that are going on, that they can't connect with a God presence within them. Because when that happens, the peace that comes with union to God is the peace that will pervade not only the individual, but will pervade everything. So there are a number of different meditations. You might decide to get involved in one thing or another, but some of them are movement, some of them are still, some of them are just blanking everything out, some of are doing concentrate. So there's so many things. Where do you start? How do you really begin? Because I found that to be the most difficult. I started with yoga. They introduced meditation to me there, and I tried to do what the yoga techniques were doing. And it really was very difficult. I found it, I was young, had a young family, had young children. It was really difficult. You talk about distractions. But I thought, well, at some point I came upon, after a few years, I decided to go back to a very much more basic thing, and that was a meditation based on candle gazing. And it's a way to focus your mind when you are sitting there trying to really bring that in without an aid. This is a wonderful visual aid, and this practice is so simple. Anyone can do this. And it's a wonderful way, because the very first thing you got to do in meditation is remove all of the world's distractions and focus on one objective. The objective of the mind, to discipline that mind to go to that one objective, and that's to seek your own inner divinity. And since that seems to be rather nebulous to a lot of people, it will happen, but you have to discipline your mind to begin with, to bring your mind to one point. And this is a very effective way. So first, I'll explain this. You need a candle, a live candle, because it's energizing. It's attractive to your inner self. The flame changes, and it has an element of liveness to it that an artificial candle doesn't provide. And it has meaning, depth of meaning in the candle, because candles have been used in ceremonial practices again through time. So we all, at our levels of subconscious levels of humanity, embrace the benefits of the ritual of burning a candle, not just for light, but for other higher purposes. So candles are very effective, and this is one place I would encourage you to start with. Now, a safety feature: please get a short candle, like a votive candle. Do not get a tall one. Put it in the middle of a large plate, or a large piece of aluminum foil wherever it is, so that if you lose track of where you are and you forget the candle's burning, nothing bad is going to happen to your environment. That's the very first thing you got to think about. After that, you're sitting yourself down and put the candle somewhere where you can see it easily, visually, and you're in a relaxed chair. You look at the candle, wide open eyes, close your eyes, and in the back of your eyes, on back of your, I guess, middle of your forehead, wherever you want to think your screen is, of inner screen, reproduce the candle. Just have yourself see the candle. Initially, it can be difficult. Some people find it very easy to do this. It just varies with the amount of concentration and the ability to visualize. It helps your visualization if you do this exercise. And when you lose the image of the candle in your head, open your eyes and look at the candle again, refresh what that image is, close your eyes and reproduce it until you can't see it again. You'd keep repeatedly doing this every day. Put a 5 to 10 minutes. It can be very concentrated focus. So you need to start maybe with the 5-minute, expand it to the 10-minute. Make it your only objective is to do that. You don't have to have any other ritual, any other knowledge, any other thing you're doing except your intention. When you start, set your intention. Your intention is, I want to discipline my mind so I can go to my God within, to my creator. It's a presence within you that is your spark of life, that is you. You're trying to return to the pure essence of yourself. That is your only objective. There is no other in this exercise, because it makes it more sensible then that you're doing a very physical thing of opening your eyes, imaging, closing your eyes. This will take on a life of its own when you've been practicing it a long enough time. It's well worth just staying with it and seeing what happens as a result of a much longer period of time doing this. It will produce some interesting results. Now, the other option, if you do not choose to do a candle, because the candle has other elements to it, choose an object that is representative of something beautiful and elevated and pure. Very often a flower will be chosen, something that is alive, or at least in the a cut flower is as much alive as it can be before it gives up its life and dies, but while it's still fresh in the bloom. It's a wonderful example of beauty and life and presence of God in all things. So you can choose something like that. That usually is a second image that people will choose if they say get tired of, or they're not very successful with the flame. They can try this. But again, it's an imaging. But is the practice of meditation is to repeatedly go back every day faithfully. It would be good to choose the same period of time. If you have a very busy schedule, you're going to have to put it on a time frame that maybe is an odd time frame for other people, but for you, it would work every day to come back to that image. That time frame would also help you energize. Your brain is kind of set up to do this. At this time, you're expecting to do this. So use as many cues as the brain gives us and allows us to be really able to begin a discipline that has far-reaching effects in your life. You will be blessed with this. You can move on from this, and we will help you do this. Right now, there is, excuse me, you need to see this slide. There is a basic lead-in to a lot of meditations that is has a function all on its own. And I'd like you to be aware that it is not It is not the meditation part that you're in when you're doing this, but in itself is a very effective tool to know and understand because it has its own benefits. So I'm going to turn you over now to Reverend Kelly Wilk, who will tell you about this part. Oops, sorry.
Thank you, Mary. That was very nice. I was getting very relaxed gazing at that candle flame. Well, as Mary was saying, we're talking about meditation in a simple, basic way without a lot of bells and whistles. And as she already said, the key purpose of meditation is to reach the divine within yourself. This divine self is ultimately interested in your own goodness and growth, as well as the goodness and growth of quite literally everyone and everything around you. It is absolutely beneficial to reach out to this inner divine often. It helps us stay in a state of love, peace, higher energy. Now, we're all very aware, perhaps even painfully aware, that our world today is one of almost constant busyness, achievement, and stress. You know, we have our bodies, our minds, our emotions, our spirits. None of them fare very well with this hectic pace. We're frequently anxious, overwhelmed, fatigued, and a key benefit of meditation comes about after we connect to our divine inner source. This comes from the very deep and powerful and purposeful relaxation of the body. The relaxation and the meditative connection to the inner light intertwine, they feed off of each other, because when we're connected to and aligned with the Blessed Spirit within, we can truly relax. I'm sure you've all heard the expression, let go and let God. And that is precisely what is going on here. Our bodies become overwhelmed by input from ourselves, from other people, from the environment. We find our bodies and minds ramping up to process and solve things. But spirit is where we must turn. Spirit, after all, comes from a place with no time and no lack. When we connect with our divine within, we realize this truth. We know we can rest. We can relax. We can achieve the lauded peace that goes beyond all understanding. Now, we don't need to rush to accomplish this or do that or hurry up and fix this. We know what our inner divine knows. We are eternal. Not our bodies, of course, not this world, but our spirit is eternal. And that really takes the pressure off. I don't know if any of you listen to country music, but I do, and there's a great song where Reba describes heaven as a place where life is fair and time is a friend. And I think that's a pretty mind-bending description of the afterlife. It certainly is very different from what most of us perceive in this life. How differently would we behave if we thought of life as being fair and good? How about if we thought of time as a friend, a help to us? The more you connect to inner spirit, the more you meditate, the more you find yourself relaxing your body and coming from a spirit-driven place, a place of eternity and fairness. Now I hear you saying, Earth does not seem to have an abundance of those qualities. Should I really behave that way? Won't that level of just being naive only result in me being hurt and taken advantage of? And to that, I would say, what does spirit say? What does your spirit say? So how do we deeply relax so we can connect with spirit? Well, of course, there are many ways to relax. Much of the time we think about wanting to relax and we think of this list of things we could do, right? Things like you could read a book or watch a show or go for a walk or have a beer. Now there's Nothing wrong with any of these things, and frankly, they sound pretty relaxing to me, but you can relax without really doing anything or going anywhere or buying something, right? Those are ways our culture suggests we relax, but there's more. There's more than striving and buying and running around. The truth is, at any time, any place, you can connect to the divine within you. It's true. And I bet you all know that. There doesn't have to be a right time, a right place, a right gadget type of scenario. There's no time. So the right time is now and always. There's no place that spirit cannot go. So the right place is everywhere. There's no right gadget. We already have all we need to access spirit. Every single person is equipped every day of their lives to access spirit. The right person is you. If we reach out to spirit, we connect with spirit. But we often have years of doubting ourselves, fearing judgment, naysayers, many other things garbling our messages. Relaxing and meditating can give us clear connections. Listening and acting on spirit guidance enhances our lives. Okay, so now we're going to go through some of the actual steps to connect, or more accurately, as Reverend Huber said, the actual steps to relax. So first, we're going to try to calm down a bit. Ideally, we can sit in a comfortable way and just slowly start noticing your breath. Try to take some deep, easy breaths. We want to ask for light. You can visualize it around yourself if you like. You might want to just think the word light, light, light. Perhaps you have some other sacred word or mantra or prayer you can say briefly. And we'll set the intention to reach spirit within. And then we go ahead and we reach within. We're remaining quiet. We're remaining calm. Keeping our breathing steady. Now, if you can remain in this place, in this state, for a few minutes, it doesn't have to be too long. That's wonderful. This would be a nice basic way of simply turning to your inner self. But for a lot of folks, there's a little bit more difficulty relaxing. So sometimes a more step-by-step intentional relaxation of the body can help. So we'll focus on that a little bit now, just as a quick example. You can go ahead and say to yourself, I'm relaxing my face. I'm relaxing my neck. I'm relaxing my shoulders and upper back. I'm bringing ease and releasing tension in my arms and hands. I release tension from my lower back and torso. I feel any stress or tension or pain leaving my hips and legs I relax my ankles and feet. I focus on breathing in and breathing out. I focus on the steady beat of my heart. And then, when it seems appropriate, you can stop, maybe stretch a little, give thanks to your inner light. And once you do this regularly, you will see benefits. The benefits will come in multiple ways, shapes, and forms. And I really believe those benefits will astound and impress you because they've certainly been a great help to me in my life. So thank you for joining us. Bless you.